welcome to the third part of this program, 第三節啦。Now, just we were talking about the Hong Kong, the very characteristics of Hong Kong movies. So, when you said that you felt something was missing and something amiss in this recent production, so what kind of feature that you felt has been missing in this?
The whole script, whole caption.
No, I just felt that the Hong Kong spirit, because when I've seen Hong Kong movies in the 80s and the 90s, there is something unique about Hong Kong cinema. It's not really about the action or the
something
skill.
very Hong Kong.
Very Hong Kong, something Hong Kong, yeah. And since I'm still watching Hong Kong movies, so there is this Hong Kong movies made for the Chinese market, and there is still the Hong Kong movie made for local market, which is a small budget, like $500,000 US, very Cantonese, like Pango Chang movies, Of course, Jolito movies. Jolito is maybe, one of the last from the old generation, I can say old school generation, is still making real Hong Kong movie, like the Mission Election, the recent election, and even his last movie, Drug War, shot in mainland China, is still Hong Kong, He's shot in China, but you can feel it's a real Hong Kong Jolito movie.
Yeah.
No compromise, And but some other, I was not really convinced by, for example, the first martial arts movie by Peter Chan, the remake of Chima, the Warlords, with Takeshi Kaneshiro, Andy Lau, and Jet Li. I felt that it was made just to make, a success, like 3 stars, big epic movie, but the thing is, the original movie by Chang Che was with Tilong.
Yes, I missed that. I missed that one.
The original movie by Chang Che with Tilong, Chang Kwan-tai, and David Chang, Jiang Dawei. You felt the brotherhood between those three. You felt something, the relation. But with Takeshi Kaneshiro, Andy Lau, and Jet Li, you felt that it's 3 big stars, but you don't feel the brotherhood between them. So when one betrays the other and the other one wants to take revenge, you don't really feel something. It's big, it's huge, big budget, big action, but
all are huge, but
I'm
not passionate.
I'm so surprised that you can understand this concept of brotherhood, because when Lee Mac and I was doing a program on Tarantino, and I always have this feeling that foreigners have no idea about what Jiang Chit was talking about. But you mentioned brotherhood. That I think it seems to me that you understand that his whole obsession about this male bonding.
Sure.
Yeah.
And of course, because John Woo actually was very influenced by, because he was an assistant director of Chang Che, so he was very influenced by these themes.
Yeah.
So you can find it in, the Better Tomorrow, especially Bullet in the Head, which is a kind of remake of actually the Blood Brothers. You remember Bullet in the Head with Jackie Chan, Tony Chiwai, and Wesley.
Bullet in the
Bullet in the Head. It's like I think it's my favorite John Woo Hong Kong movie. Yeah. I mean, my favorite John Woo movie ever.
And it still remains in some ways in hardboiled. Even if the two characters don't meet for a long time in the movie, but they are very connected,
And yes, it was about that, about betrayal, friendship, brotherhood, betrayal, revenge. Those themes are like seems very simple, but it's very it's very complex actually. When you have a woman involved or money involved, you can change. Or if you don't really have if you're not really a good person, maybe like Tilong in the original movie, Tilong say, "Oh, okay, I will become famous official. After that, you will work with me. We will work together forever." Yeah. But when he became famous and stuff, say, "Oh, I want to steal his wife," or I want.
Or maybe it is an actual reflection of the relationship between this script writer and producer and director.
Maybe.
I tell you the truth. Now they got a group of script writers my good friend also this Tao Mingzong, one of the Hong Kong script writers.
Was
and they are
that movie
too
made
many
by
people.
Andre Morgan?
No. Oh.
Oh, the name doesn't ring the bell.
Yes, but
Andre Morgan.
Yes, but I don't.
You don't, okay.
How about we talk about Yi Kang?倪匡啊
The
he
script
won
writer.
he won the
scriptwriter.
終身成就獎啊嘛。
Recently, he won the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Hong Kong.
This time he won. He is another one like Kulong, but he wrote a lot of script for Zhang Chat, Shaw's brother.
What name again?
Yi Kang.
Ni Kwang.
Yes.
Ni Kwang. We say.
Yeah.
Ni Kwang. What
Many of the
Oh, he just won.
Zhang Chat's.
He just won the achievement award.
Lifetime Achievement Award.
Okay.
But you know what? He never changed the script.
The same. Change the name.
No. What she meant was that
No, the same.
once he wrote a script, he never changed it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can see Zhang Chat's movie like from the Chima until the Dok.
5 winner.
Actually, I like to tell you if you like to see some kung fu, and then Dok is quite well because it has
The 5 Venoms.
five kind of
Venoms.
I don't like this movie.
You can see the sparrow, man.
Yeah, but I don't.
I
It's
like
like it's a
it.
stuntman movie.
I quite like this movie.
I mean,
and Yi Kwang finished his writing and then give to him, and he said, "I never rewrite anything." So that makes 即係點啊？即係一氣呵成啊
No.
！That makes 嗰啲 Brotherhood 啊
he want to write the script in one go.
Yeah.
Never have an interruption.
And
Not never rewrite. Just one go. Okay. So we have some more time, and I would like to talk about your project. So Freddie, are you going to do a documentary on Hong Kong movie?
Yes, actually, okay. I've done many short documentary on Hong Kong cinema for the last 10 years, and most of them were about, I mean, maybe 60 of them were about Kung Fu movies because of the Shaw Brothers DVD collection.
Yeah.
So it was released on DVD in France, and maybe the other half were about modern action movie, which mean also a thriller like Johnny To movies or Donnie Yen movies, or or even Sammo Hung recent movie of the 90s, things like that. And the thing is, okay, I know quite well Hong Kong cinema. I've seen a lot of Hong Kong movies.
You're an expert. I can assure you. Don't worry about that. You're an expert. Yes.
Better than us.
You're better than us. Yeah.
We learn from you.
Yeah, I should invite you to host a program here.
So what I'm saying is, people in the West mostly know about Kung Fu, action like John Woo, Choi Hart sometimes, John Woo and Choi Hart I think as the most popular director in the West. And but there were so many. I mean, there were so many genres since the end of the 50s. Like the Wang Mei opera movie. With Ling Po, the Lian Xiang's movie.
No, this is really too surprising for us because even for young people like this guy, he has to absolutely. 頭先你講嘅黃梅調。
黃梅調 I know 黃梅調。
The Beijing opera. That will be a classic for those young people. And they would never. They would like Shakespeare to them. Okay.
Yeah, but when I made it's like when I was digging in all the VCD DVD in Chinatown, and I've seen this VCD, it's like this is like it looks like different. It was a historical drama with Lila Yua.
Yeah.
And it's about and it was.
Still looking nice today. Nowadays,
I never succeed to meet her because she's one of my favorite actresses. and she's like maybe 80 something. But I always wanted to meet her. But I heard she's retired. Yeah, she's retired.
Sometimes in Hong Kong. Yeah.
Oh.
And,
She's the best. Starting at
Really
16
nice.
years old,
Yeah.
and and her career was quite unique. She started in China 16, and then go to Hollywood. She played with Victor Mature in the 50s. And anyway, so I've discovered this Lily Yua movie in VCD. It was a bad copy. It was a very bad copy, and it was a movie about Guan Yin. The goddess.
Yes,
And I've seen that, and because I knew about Show Brothers movie only martial arts, but I've seen this Show Brothers logo, and it's like there is some singing scene, and then some big epic fighting scene in the desert, which was shot in Korea. Because actually it's a Korean Hong Kong co-production, but nobody knew about that before 2004. I mean, in the West, nobody knew about that until 2004, and the Busan Film Festival. The Busan Film Festival made a big retrospective on Korean Hong Kong co-production, and the programmer Cho Yong-jong, she found that some Hong Kong movie, for example, the first movie directed by Shin Soo-tong, is actually co-directed by a Korean director. But when the movie is released in Hong Kong, you only have the name of Shin Soo-tong. You don't have the name of the Korean director. When I went to Busan and I've seen on big screen, the first movie by Shin Soo-tong, it was a Korean print, a Korean dub, and the editing sometimes were different. The cut was different. And it was the same for some Golden Harvest movie with Sammo Hung, When Taekwondo Strike. The cut was different. It was for the Korean market. So actually they shot two versions, one for the Hong Kong market, one for the Korean market.
Yeah, sure.
And I actually met the director of the movie with Lily Yua. I met him in 2004 for this Korean Hong Kong retrospective. And he told me that he shot two versions of the movie with two different actresses. Lily Yua in the Chinese version, then they cut the scene, and then they call the Korean actress, which was the wife of the producer Shin Sang-ok. He made a deal with the One Show, on many movies. Shin Sang-ok with Shin Film was co-producing movie with Show Brothers. Shin Sang-ok, he's the biggest. He's like the biggest Korean producer of the 60s. He was kidnapped, in North Korea and stuff. And I was surprised because programmer said to me they found the restored version by Celestial of Guan Yin, so I saw it again on big screen, and then she said to me that the Korean print is lost because in Korea, as you said, in some countries they don't keep the copies, and so a lot of Korean movie from the 60s is lost. They created the Cinematheque or the archive, or Korean Film Archive, not so long ago. So to find a very good print is really difficult. And anyway, so that's how I got interested in other kind of movie in the 60s. So I said, so I need to watch those historical drama. Then when Celestial Picture restored the Show Brothers movie, they screened in Cannes the Golden Lotus, the Lian Xiang movies, which is an erotic movie. And so I think it was the first time I see an erotic movie of the 70s.
How erotic was it?
Not too much. I mean, okay. For this one, it's not my. It's maybe the most popular, one of the most popular, but it's not my favorite. It's when I really discover the DVD. It was released in Hong Kong. All the DVD released by IVL. You got the Chen Kong movie. You got a movie about the prostitute, call girls. You got the movie about like the trilogy, or even the movie by Chou Yuen, Intimate Confession of a Chinese Courtesan. I knew, I knew.
Why not?
That is really sad.
Which is one of the best. It's one of the best. The first kiss between two women in a Hong Kong movie, and actually. This movie was released in France, but because it's martial arts. But all the erotic movie, no release on DVD.
She knows the scriptwriter of that.
Need to.
Sure. Now it's in Beijing.
A bit far from.
Well, actually, she knows everybody that you want to meet.
Okay. Wait. So what I mean is, this documentary I want to do I always wanted to make a synthesis of my work because I interview so many people from the Hong Kong film industry in 10 years, and I've done some short documentaries, mostly about Kung Fu movie, but even if it's released on a Kung Fu DVD, my documentary, I talk about the sometimes I can interview, for example, an actor who play in a kung fu movie, but if he play in some Liang Shang movie or if he play in some musical movie, I ask him about that. But I never made a proper documentary about Hong Kong film history. So
Jiang Pei in a
musical.
Of
course.
Musical.
So in Xiang Pei interview, of course, she's telling me about this movie, but briefly. But we never get into it, like, because we have to talk about the Swords Play movies that she made. But anyway, so what I decided to do actually is actually to talk about Hong Kong film history from the 50s, end of the 50s to now, which means end of the 50s is like beginning of Shaw Brothers, first color movie in Hong Kong, and things like that. And also, it's like the first big success of Liang Xiang, because even if he made like this erotic movie in the 70s, he made already the big success in Hong Kong film history at the end of the 50s with the musical, like the Wong Mei opera movie, and the historical drama. And what you can see in his movies is, even in the 50s, they are quite erotic sometimes, with Lilera taking the bath,
Oh, yeah.
It's like, there is this eroticism, but like, very hidden, because
I can assure that she is not so sexy right now.
Don't tell me that, I'm a big fan,
No, she still wear blue jeans.
Oh.
Like this kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like, so all those glamorous stars of the 50s were already a bit erotic.
Yeah.
And then,
Lily Ho.
Of course, Lily Ho in the 60s.
Yeah.
But there was still like, even in the Southern Screen magazine, the Shaw Brothers magazine, they were saying Asian movie queen, Ling Po, Asian movie queen, Lin Dai.
Yes.
But when in the 60s they started to put more eroticism, like in a James Bond kind of movie, and they tried to put the bikini and things like that, it became starlets, from Asian movie queen to starlet. So it means that maybe there are already some levels of Asian star system. Like, you can be the glamorous star, like in the same style of, like the Hollywood star, like Elizabeth Taylor kind of stars. But then you have this starlet because they are wearing bikinis, and even in the 70s...
Even no clothes.
Even in the 70s...
Do you know that?
And in the 70s, there was Chen Ping. She started to show the breast and things like that. So it was maybe a lower level of star.
Do you know there were one female stars who actually posed for the Playboy?
Yes. Wai Ying-hung.
No.
Yes.
I'm not talking about Chinese Playboy. I'm talking about American Playboy.
Oh, really? Who?
金飛冇呀？
唔係啊嘛？
係同 Playboy. Actually, there was one. Yeah.
Anyway, Wai Ying-hung photos in Playboy are quite good.
Really?
I asked her about it. She no problem to talk about it.
I never saw it. But going back to that...
Anyway, no, what I mean is... Okay. I can talk about... Okay.
You've been too long over
Yeah. Okay.
talking about history.
I think if I talk about Hong Kong film history through the erotic angle, it would be interesting to see the evolution of Hong Kong cinema since in the 60s it became more sexy, in the 70s very exploitative, exploitation kind of movie, and in the 80s the system of category at the end of the 80s they start to put the restriction for the 18 years old people, and so after that there was all these movies, actually the bad taste movie, with Anthony Wong when he's doing the crazy serial killer rape people, and those movies were big success. So I think it kind of shows you the evolution of Hong Kong cinema and the evolution of the audience taste, actually, because why do those Anthony Wong movie when he's raping this poor girl, next to the river and have the Ebola syndrome? Why is this movie a big success? Why? Because it's but because even Anthony Wong saying his movie is bad, why I don't understand why people like it. And he said to me he won the best award actor for the Untold Story, the Bunman, when he's cutting people and making the bun, and he said to me, I don't understand why I get the award, and so it means the award is bullshit, something like that. He says that to me in an interview. So I want to understand why all those radical changes to express the sexuality in movies. Why is this? Because in the 90s, in 2000, no more sex. It's very like it's like a regression, you know. Not even the sexy actress. They look like a teenager, even they are 30 something. But why is he try to sell them as teenager with no sexuality or something?
Yeah.
And why now there is this comeback of the sex and zen, but with those, I mean, it's artistically, I mean, come on, I mean, artistically it's not like in the Lian Shang's movie. It's not auteur movie. Lian Shang's movie were respectful. Even if there were erotic movie, it was all the top class actor wanted to play in that kind of movies. Now it's only the low, I mean, I can say,
the real stars.
I can give you the reason, because Lian Chang's movie are actually adapted from traditional Chinese classics. For example, The Golden Lotus, which is quite respectable in terms of artistic value, even though he put in all this erotic content inside, because they are already in the book. Okay. One last question, because we are running out of time. Do you find Chinese actress sexier than the European actress?
That is a very personal question.
It's not okay. No, I cannot answer to this question, but I can tell you which actress I find the most sexy in Hong Kong.
Tell us.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, the actress I found really sexy is the actress of the 70s or the 80s, like Patricia Ha.
Yeah.
Haman Chic.
Yeah, this one.
Or Yip Tong. They have something.
Beautiful.
They have something.
It's strange because in terms of figure, they are quite unerotic.
No, they have something. They have this inner eroticism. Inner eroticism.
Not
the body are quite well too. But what I'm saying is when you see them on screen, they are communicate something with their charisma and their beauty, and of course their talent, acting talent.
Yeah.
And nowadays you don't have that. You just have like models. Like really, when I'm seeing this new young actress who's playing in a new martial art movies or new romantic comedy, they look like models. They're beautiful. Models, like fashion models. Yeah. They look beautiful, but they don't. I don't feel anything when they play in a movie, or even when they are presenting a movie in a press conference. They are saying, you can feel that they are just repeating what they were told, you know. If I interview Carrie Nkalai, you know, when I interview Nkalai, it's like, wow, you know. Yeah, I mean, she has something. She has things to say. She will. Why do her career? She has a so long career, you know.
I have to say that we have different tastes. Okay. What about Yip Zimei?
Who?
Yip Zimei.
The
actress of Sex and Zen.
Oh, okay. I mean, but this is a kind of. I mean, it's maybe sexy, but it's not like erotic. You know what I mean?
It is about the obviousness of the sex appeal. You know?
Yeah.
It is about the obviousness.
No, if something is vulgar, I don't like vulgar thing actually.
Yeah.
I like erotic thing, but I don't like vulgar thing. And all those category 3 movies in the 90s, it's all about vulgarity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Vulgarity.
And that's why those actresses are not around anymore, you know.
Do you know the Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
Just like Yip Zimei.
I know. So she made the breast surgery. So what? So everybody can do it, right?
Yeah.
But what we need is a sexy but good actress, you know. Even Chen Ping, she was the first, I can say. Chen Ping. She was the first actress who was like kind of a bit vulgar, but since the movie were quite okay. You know, like the revenge movie, the sexy killer. You know, she plays. It's more like it's a bit like the inspiration of Kill Bill too. You know, the Oman Gua movie. Kiss of
Jin and Tinny.
Okay, they are very sexy.
Yeah.
They are very sexy.
They are the sexy
Because
of
they are-
sexy.
Charismatic, sexy, the look, you know,
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
just look at the camera, oh wow, you know. Even now, I interview Wugam, you know, it's like she still has it, you know, she still has it. So, and nowadays, the new actresses, you don't feel they are actresses, you feel they are just marketed as sexy actress. And they have the same kind of style, you know, very thin, you know.
Yeah.
But before, you know, Jinping, she was a bit, you know, like, yeah.
More natural. In
More
fact.
natural, yeah.
They are down to earth.
Yeah.
Down to earth, yeah.
Of course,
Now
Lily
they
O,
are
maybe-
models. Yeah.
Well-rounded,
Maybe the right, I mean, like, the most sexiest actress of the 60s maybe was Lily Ho.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lily Ho was a very good actress.
I agree with
And,
you absolutely. on this
Almost,
one.
you know.
That's it.
yes,
So you
yeah.
found a common taste.
Yeah, we finally come to a common ground, and that's I can tell you that this is good taste.
Yeah, because she has a class.
Sure.
She's classy.
So, would you like
sexy.
to introduce us to Lily Ho sometime?
She's
in the
in
future?
Shanghai.
In Shanghai.
In Shanghai. No problem. We can fly to Shanghai. So, I'm sorry that we are running out of time, and I really don't. You
how
have
about
to.
No, I will
have-
just say bye-bye to
Yeah,
your
you
audience,
can.
and I'm really glad and thank you very much for having invited
And
me and for this chat.
I'm so glad that when Freddie was talking about this sexy actress,
He is something.
he is
You
so.
agree? You agree?
His enthusiasm is so infectious.
Precisely.
You look
So I will try to
very exciting.
So I will try to introduce to the French audience. I will try to introduce to the French audience so the eroticism in Hong Kong cinema that they maybe don't know at all. you know?
Yeah.
So this is maybe a cinema they don't know. So I want to show that Hong Kong cinema is not only about action, kung fu.
No. We are
And-
more than that.
Yeah,
More than
sure.
that. Okay. And I really wish that sometime in the future, maybe you can do this program in French.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And
Maybe.
I really hope you two come,
come
to
to
our
Hong Kong
show whenever you come back to Hong Kong.
yeah.
Yes.
So-
don't wait till next year.
So let's say au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Merci.
Merci.
Au revoir. Thank you. Merci.